Okay, so we're going to look at another recipe using Dutch oven cooking, and let's see what's on the menu for the day. It looks like we're going to be attempting cornbread. This right here is our choice for fire starter of the day. This is basically a coffee filter that is filled with basically wood shavings. Not exactly sawdust, but it's actual wood shavings. So we're using that to start our fire today. I have a nice bed of coals going. I'm going to need this in order to start preheating my Dutch oven. I sprayed the inside of it down with cooking oil and put some coals on the top in order to start a preheating process. Our recipe calls for 2 eggs and a cup and a third of milk. I am now adding the cornbread mix. Emptying 2 packages into this. I like to stir in the first package extremely well before adding the second package. Okay, checking to see how my preheating is doing. And it seems to be working out pretty well. I believe we're properly preheated. Remember, you need to turn the pot 90 degrees about every 15 minutes, and you need to turn the lid also 90 degrees. One you will turn counterclockwise, the other one you'll turn clockwise. We have replenished our coals underneath. Get a good fair amount of coals going here. We're going to constantly be checking it to make sure that we stay at a proper temperature. We're now going to put some additional coals on top. We have gone ahead and poured our cornbread mixture direct into the preheated Dutch oven. Okay, I've placed more coals on top, and I also kind of redistributed some on the bottom. One of the main reasons we rotate it, if you notice, there's not a whole lot of coals on this side, but there seems to be more on the bottom on the other. This allows us to get more even cooking.
Sorry.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and check this. It's been about 15 minutes. And you can see that it's already starting to do pretty good here. It might have been a little bit hotter than what I initially intended, but I think it's going to turn out okay. It may be a little bit black on the bottom, but it's just kind of the way we got to kind of play with it and stuff. It is not going to be that badly burnt or anything. It's going to come out very well. You can kind of feel it, and it's a little spongy right now at this time, but it's not quite ready yet. I am going to take some of the heat off the bottom and add the heat back to the top to make the top a little bit more brown and done. Another way of testing cakes and breads both is what's known as the toothpick test. Here's a toothpick, and I can actually come in here and insert it in several places and see how clean it comes out, in which we are looking fairly well. I think found a little bit of a juicy spot there. This appears to need a little bit more cooking just right in this general area. Okay, so we let this cook for just a little bit longer, and as you can see, it's nice and brown on the top here. Basically, we removed the heat from the bottom. Of course, the pot is hot enough that it will retain some of the heat, just kind of reflected back from the ground back into it. But pretty much all of our heat was on the top, and you can see, just using this, that it does not stick to the bottom. So we're going to take this and kind of flip it out and see what it looks like on the bottom side of this. Okay, we have moved this onto a plate, and it all came out in one piece. It did kind of have a little bit of a crack in the middle, but it is still in one piece. You can also see the bottom. It is dark brown, but it is not black. But this looks like it's going to be a very good and very tasty piece of cornbread. This is our pot immediately after taking the bread out. As you can see, there is not going to be a huge amount of cleaning left to it. What little is in there seems to be dry, and this shows that the cast iron is very well seasoned. After I have scraped out any food particles, I basically sprayed the inside down with some more cooking spray. I then wiped it down from there and laid it back in the fire. I'm going to leave it in here just for a short amount of time. That way, if there was any moisture, the fire will help evaporate it out.